But I'll tell you what I found interesting. I was watching these things about the Egyptian pyramids and
Uh-huh.
how they were put together and the statues and all these colossal things they make.
Right.
And they always because it's such great work, they're always saying that it probably was aliens came down, or they're saying the advanced technology they had before
Mm-hmm.
something destroyed everything, and they lost all the technologies. But I'm leaning towards the fact that they built this right after the flood, and that
Mm-hmm.
then whatever was stone now was not stone there. I think it was more workable.
Right.
That's what I'm leaning for, and it was real interesting to me because
Mm-hmm.
if you remember, the Tower of Babel happened like right after the flood, right? They went to build the Tower of Babel,
Right.
and God scattered them. So would you think they would stop building, or they would go say go somewhere else and try and do the same thing, build up things everywhere? I
Yeah.
think so. I think that's a real interesting component of Scripture. Because they want, of course, they always want to extend the creation to maybe 12, 15,000, 20,000, a million years because of that reason, they
Mm-hmm.
say. So I find that real interesting, and I'm really
Mm-hmm.
studying that right now, in fact, all about it.
Oh, do
Nice.
you think
Nice.
angels might have helped them build the pyramids?
No, I don't believe that they play parts with man like that. I don't.
Oh,
Scripture doesn't show us anything like that, other than like when they came to get Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah. You don't see them building anything, helping with it. Not in Scripture. It doesn't say anything in Scripture that I could think of where. I mean, even Noah, did he get help? I mean, he got instructions, but he didn't get help. Right? He built it for 100 years. I don't
yeah,
think anyone came to help him.
yeah. Uh,
So I think it all fits in with the Bible. We just got to understand what happened. And in fact, what's really interesting to me in the book of Genesis about the Tower of Babel, Scripture
Mm-hmm.
says that they had brick for stones, and we know bricks is made out of a clay, right? In fact, that's where the word comes from, the whiteness of a clay. It says when I looked it up, and
Right.
in other words, they had clay for stones. And this is what the Egyptians did. They built everything from stone, and they hand chiseled it out. All these magnificent and symmetrical statues, and they're 100 tons, 1,000 tons, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that they didn't make this stuff like it was pottery.
wow.
In fact, they find like stone, really beautiful stone bowls that look like they were turned on a potter's wheel. But because you can't carve stone like that, inside outside, and it's only so thin, it's like a pottery vessel, and I think that tells us what's going on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. When you hear about me world famous, I discovered that it was actually clay they used that was like stone.
Mm.
Do you think?
You know what happened.
Do you think might have been the guy Plato?
Hmm?
Sorry. Oh,
Did
sorry.
you say Plato? Did you say Plato or Plato? Plato.
Plato.
Play-Doh.
Plato. Was that a joke? If it was, pretty good.
Yeah.
Plato. Actually, that what's funny is when I was looking at some of these things online of the pyramids and stuff. When you look at things, it looks like when you take Play-Doh when you're a kid and you pull it apart. You know how the clay a little bit will be coming out like little pieces still. It looks
Yeah.
like that. Some of these things they claim were stone, solid stone, and they were chiseled out. It looks like that, like it was actually clay at one time. Play-Doh. I thought
Mm.
of Play-Doh. In fact, when I was thinking about it, they have like holes drilled in the solid stone granite, and they say, well, they had tube drills and they had engines that turned them at such speed, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it was soft, and they pushed something through it like a tube, like you do with Play-Doh.
But from my experience and observation, having been to many of these sites and seen many of these drill holes for myself, I think this spiral groove applies to most of the Old Kingdom examples that are made into very hard stone. I don't think that the dynastic Egyptians made these particular types of holes, which are specifically distinctive thanks to the deep and apparently spiral grooves. I do think that the dynastic Egyptians certainly made use of the copper or bronze tube used with sand or other abrasive slurries. As Peter himself said, many civilizations, including our own, developed this technique for working stone. There are plenty of smooth bore holes that can be found in ancient architecture, and even some with what are clearly circular striations and marks that are very likely the result of this process.
Show the child that they have to insert the straw into the Play-Doh ball as deep as they can, okay? As deep as they can, alright? Okay, like this. Like this, alright? And once they are done, just hold this and tell the child to pull the straw out.